This week on Wildcat News, we discuss the details of last Friday's lockdown.
We ask, what's your 17?
And we follow students to Washington, D.C.
All these stories and more coming up because Wildcat News starts now.
Good morning, West Johnston. I'm Hannah Creech.
And I'm Miranda Bean.
Last Friday, as the bells began to ring for the transition to third block, an urgent voice came over the intercom telling us that we were in lockdown and it was not a drill. According to Captain Jeff Codwell at the Johnston County Sheriff's Office, 7 students of another school were arrested, and 3 of them were charged as adults for illegally entering the school. On Friday, news sources reported that the trespassers did not make it past the office, and this caused some controversy. Later, it came out that they did not make it past the office without being questioned, but some of the trespassers ran into different parts of the school. According to the News and Observer, as a direct result of the lockdown, the Johnston County school system wants to spend about $1.4 million to upgrade security measures. Officials are even considering putting armed former police and military personnel at each school if the community is interested. At 10:56 a.m. that Friday morning, Student Resource Officer Adrienne Stone was quick to respond to the scene. She had arrived at the school only a few minutes before the lockdown, and she says she is thankful she was here.
When the 7 people that walked in here, I was standing there and immediately I asked the assistant principal, who's that? Because I could tell, I knew they didn't go to school here. The way that, not just their dress, some of them had slits in their eyes. And it wasn't just one person with cuts in their eyes. It was numerous ones of them, you know, and it just stood out to me. So once I came around the corner and I saw 3 of them head out the front doors, 4 of them broke straight away into the school. I mean, they went straight into the school. So at that point, my job is the same as it always is. My job is to keep y'all safe, period.
Stone says that she knew there was something off about the 7 students from the first glance.
It was all in their demeanor. I watched them on camera afterward. They were all huddled up talking about something, and then when they were approached by the assistant principal, they broke off from each other, going, you know, almost running into one way into a school, 4 guys, and then the other ones went outside. If you're not doing anything wrong, you're not going to run from the law.
Stone stresses the importance of internet safety.
I have no idea other than exactly what you guys have read in the paper. These 7 people, the young girl, you know, she met somebody online. And so I guess this is my time to really push to younger people. Meeting somebody online that you don't know and letting them know where you are is not okay. Someone was supposed to get picked up from this school by somebody she did not know. Well, when that somebody came to pick her up, they came with 6 other people.
Sophomore Ainsley Underwood gives a student perspective on what it was like in a classroom.
It was pretty scary because we didn't know what was going on at first and if there was actually a shooter in the building. It was quiet, like everybody did what they were supposed to do. Since we've heard news stories and stuff about mass shootings everywhere, I guess we kind of had an idea of the severity of the situation.
Underwood and senior Andre Cole believe that their phones turned out to be a great tool during the lockdown.
Everybody was on their phones, looking at the news and stuff, and we heard some stuff from people's parents, so we kind of knew what was happening.
It allowed people to call their parents and let them know what was going on before seeing stuff on the news, because for my mom, she would be scared to death to see what was going on the news without me telling her what was going on.
Senior Cayman Ketro was outside in her car during the lockdown, and she is glad she was not in the building.
I could actually see and hear what was going on, whereas everyone inside had no idea. So I kind of had the peace in mind that what they were doing and all that kind of stuff where others didn't. And then I knew a lot of classes were left alone without teachers, so I imagine that was really hard and scary.
Cole's chorus class was one of the classes without a teacher. He explains what their experience was like.
While we were switching classes, that's when everything went down. And then we went into the back closet behind the stage, and it's a garage. And then we got into a corner, and then somebody started hitting on the garage. I think it was like the police or something. And then everybody was really anxious and everybody was like really like scared about what was going to happen. Nothing really processed until like everybody started crying and stuff. Me and a couple others started talking to the group and telling everybody it's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. And then I made the decision to go pray over like my class so that like everybody's like assured that we're going to be okay.
According to the News and Observer, as a response to the lockdown, Johnston County Schools will outfit every school with cameras, controlled access points, and key fob entries, among other upgrades. The changes are expected to be in place for the start of the new school year in August. Assistant Principal Melissa Finch believes that the lockdown brings safety to the forefront of everyone's minds.
You know, the number one ultimate thing, we're here to keep children safe. And so I think this really brings to mind what other ways can we help our students be safe? What other processes can we put in place to make sure that we are being as safe as possible? It really brought to focus, sharp focus, what we can do to make our school a safer place to be.
As students and teachers return back to school, Ketro, Cole, and Stone have different feelings about our safety.
I feel like we're safe, but I was nervous coming to school today. But like knowing that all the doors are locked and people are watching and stuff, it makes me feel a little bit better about being in the school.
I know some people saying they're scared to come back to school and like they're nervous and stuff, but I don't know, you can say that about anything because there's shootings that happen everywhere, even though that wasn't the case.
Hearing the kids and some of the teachers say that they were nervous coming back, that's understandable. It's pretty traumatic to hear a lockdown, knowing that school shootings have happened, more school shootings than ever this year, and you all don't know what's going on. You're just locked down. And then we're sweeping the school. You know, we knew we had it under control, but you guys were still in classrooms. Your level of fear and anxiety must have been tremendous.
Underwood, Cole, and Stone share their thoughts for the future.
Nobody thinks it can happen to the school that you're at, and then it did. And it was pretty confusing and eye-opening. Schools, like in other places, can realize, like, oh, it happened to their school. Like, it can happen to ours, too.
I feel blessed that nothing happened. I'm just thankful that everybody in my class and everybody in the school is okay.
I'm the only person armed in this school, and I'm willing to give my life for you guys, period. It doesn't matter who. Some people might say, well, wouldn't it be better if there were more people? I don't know, but I know one thing. I'm not going anywhere, you know, and right around the corner, I mean, literally around the corner, I have more deputies and officers. They're not here, but they would be here really fast.
Thanks, Hannah. Last Wednesday, students took time out of their day to remember lives lost. Landry Connors reports.
March 14th marks 1 month since the tragic Parkland shooting. As a way to honor the lives lost, SGA planned an alternative to the walkout known as What's Your 17, where students could write notes to the Florida victims, join in on a prayer circle, or use the time to spread kindness to their fellow peers. While some still chose to walk out, senior Audrey Rentz believes this 17 minutes was more effective.
I think a walkout kind of draws attention to an issue, which is good, but I feel like the What's Your 17 actually does something about it. It's actually like having kids come together and be kind to each other and developing friendships, which will hopefully decrease the chances of a school shooting in the future.
Rentz says the planning of the What's Your 17 was overwhelming.
I think we planned it in 2 days, 2.5 maybe. It was really, really quick, and we ended up changing a bunch of meetings because of school getting canceled because of the snow day and that kind of stuff.
Junior Dakota Fish participated in the event. She appreciated the different choices the 17 minutes gave her.
The closure that some people needed, I don't think everyone could get that from just walking out or just saying a prayer or just writing a letter. I think it was good to have all the options to choose from.
Rentz and Fish both feel that the intentions behind the event were good.
We just wanted to kind of honor the 17 kids who lost their lives without making it a political protest, just support the kids.
I felt like it brought our school together more and it let people express how they feel.
Rentz was most impressed by the student initiative.
I think what we did was really cool because we weren't waiting for adults to change it. The students at West Johnston were doing it.
I'm Landry Connors, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Landry. On Saturday, many students hopped on a bus early in the morning to head to Washington, D.C. While the sophomores were at the Holocaust Museum, the journalism students visited the Newseum. Caroline Carlson joined them.
On Saturday, March 10th, some students got the opportunity to travel to our country's capital, Washington, D.C. to take a trip to the Newseum. Sophomores Kara Baker and Jack Swizer visited the FBI and the 9/11 exhibits.
It was just cooler to get like a closer look and more details about what went on and all the the Boston bombings and 9/11. You actually got to see real artifacts from the people that were in the event.
It made me realize how real these events were, because you never knew what happened until you saw the damage from 9/11 and the Twin Towers.
There are many displays and artifacts from 9/11 located in the Newseum. Baker found these displays very impactful.
Seeing the huge wall of all the 9/11 stories, there are newspapers and just stories on everything and pictures and videos and news reports from what was going on at the time, and it was really scary seeing it all go down.
Baker found that she began to think of the photographers in admiration after seeing the Pulitzer Prize photographs exhibit and the levels many of them would go to.
You don't really see photographers as doing risky things and putting their lives in danger, but that just really showed what they go through, all the dangerous things that they have to go through in order to just get a perfect picture.
Swizer believes that after his experience in the Newseum, he has accumulated more of an interest in an occupation in the journalism field.
I really would like to go out and report things happening in other parts of the world that some people wouldn't want to.
I'm Caroline Carlson, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Caroline. Now let's head over to Grace and Betts with the rundown.
I'm Grace and Betts, and welcome to the rundown. Here's the last week's scores. Last Wednesday, girls varsity soccer tied 1-1 against James Hunt, and softball won 9-2, and baseball lost 6-0 against Fike. Friday, softball won 21-5, and baseball won 11-1 against Northern Nash. Saturday, varsity soccer lost 5-3 against East Duplin, and varsity softball won 8-3, and baseball lost 9-4 against Garner. Now for the game of the week.
Last Wednesday, varsity baseball hosted the Fike Demons. Jacob Seaman fields a ground ball and gets the out at first. Landon Evans fields a ground ball at shortstop, and Jacob Seaman makes a long stretch for the out. Xavier Blevins catches a fly ball in center field to end the inning. The Wildcats lost 6-0.
Today, tennis, baseball, and softball are home. Saturday, baseball is home and softball is home. Monday, tennis and soccer are home. Tuesday, golf is home and soccer is away. Wednesday, tennis is away, soccer is home, and softball is home. Come out and support your spring athletes. I'm Grayson Betts, and that's your week's rundown.
Thanks, Grayson. On Monday, March 5th, 2 students traveled a few miles down the road to help others. Mason Butcher followed them there.
The winners of the Mr. and Miss West Johnston pageants, sophomore Allie Fuquay and senior Hudson Roberts, went to McGee's Elementary to read to many different classes of all grades. Roberts and Fuquay were both anxious to read.
It was an awesome experience overall. The feeling afterwards I would have to describe as relief, because I went in kind of nervous, but the joy that it brings you to see the smiles on their faces and hear them laugh is unexplainable.
I feel really good about it because I really want to make a difference in my community. I really want to help children because I think that's what we need. We need to help children. So I feel really good about it, and I really enjoyed the experience.
Out of the 6 classes that were read to, 2 really stuck out to Roberts.
They would laugh at certain parts. It was really cool. And then there was also the 2nd grade class. Wow. I read Sylvester and the Magic Pebble to them, and they were so attentive. They were so focused in. And then we'd crack jokes every now and then, and the whole class would light up. It was an awesome time.
Roberts wants to thank his community and all that helped him get to where he is today.
When I was in elementary school, I don't remember this happening much because I don't think there was a Mr. West J back then. But being able to go and give back to the community for them supporting me through all this time, especially my old teachers there and my old school, was a really awesome experience.
Fuquay hopes she left a positive impact on the children.
I hope they're inspired and to do really good things with their life, because we did read The Places You'll Go, and I want them to be inspired when they grow up and to do great things.
Thanks, Mason. Now let's head over to Miranda Bean with Wildcats on the Street to see how students felt about the 17 minutes activity.
Do you think the event today is making an impact?
Yeah, I think it does, because everyone needs to raise awareness for what is going on and that it can't happen, and it's a serious thing that people need to know about and control.
Just getting awareness about what's going on, not only here but everywhere. The events that happened were tough and tragic to see and hear about. I know for me, those children our age, so that's tough to see children dying because of something like this.
I think it is because even if people don't really care that much, it is spreading awareness, and that way people know like what's happening and stuff.
Since we did have a lockdown, and it's not as traumatic at what they went through, but we kind of feel for them and understand what they're going through, and it's nice to reach out to them and make them feel okay.
It just lets you go out and make new friends in school and just talk to people you don't really talk to.
I do think it's a great idea on the school's part, not only to prevent students from walking out, which would be a safety issue, but it's taking the politics out of something like this and acknowledging that we all need to unite.
Well, that's all for us this week. If you have any comments, questions, or story leads, email us at wjstudentmedia@gmail.com or send us a tweet at wjstudentmedia.
And if you want to watch Wildcat News at home, on the go, or catch up on past episodes, go to wjstudentmedia.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Hannah Creech.
And I'm Miranda Bean. Thanks for watching and have a great week.